I've been spending a lot of time with Josh for the past few weeks. I guess you could say he's my teacher, because he's taught me a little about sign language and a lot about what real adversity is. Most times I meet him at the same spot in the park, but a few times I've gone over to his neighborhood, which is right by the high school. And while the die-hard walkers are strutting around the track, we sit in the bleachers by the baseball diamond. I've learned how to say some fairly easy sentences, but we do more than just drill on sign language. I bring along my pad and pencil so we can talk about other things. He loves football. Sometimes all he can talk about are the 49ers. He also likes to write. That's obvious. He has a pen pal in England named Henry who's about his age and also deaf. They write to each other a lot, but Josh doesn't confine his writing to letters. He writes little stories too. Now, none of them would make it to Broadway, that's for sure, but no one I know could have written what he has at his age. He reads during most of his free time. He likes the Lord of the Rings books the best. Imagine that. Most boys his age are hardly reading at all, and the ones that are read crap like Fourth Down or Home Run Collins. This kid reads Tolkien and understands it. I also found out that his parents were divorced and that he was living with his grandmother, which he doesn't really like. He wrote one time, "She doesn't like to be with me because she doesn't know sign language and doesn't learn. She never tells me anything good and never cares if I'm around." He does his best to avoid talking about his home life, so I don't ask much about it. I know where he lives, who he lives with, and how much he hates living there. That's about it. One thing that I can say for certain, Josh is one intelligent kid. He's much smarter than I was, and at least as smart as those brainy kids I knew that we always picked on in school. Here's a kid who had his hearing taken from him before he could really speak, and he's gone and made himself a better person at an age when he shouldn't even really be self-aware. He hasn't let his handicap keep him from accomplishing something. For that, I envy him. But I'm also very glad I'm not him. If I suddenly went deaf, or even if I gradually went deaf like he did, God, I'd be crazy. I'd just pack it in, hide in my room. I wouldn't want to come out because people would treat me like some kind of freak. And his home life is a total mess. At least my folks stayed together, and I grew up in a usually functional family. Josh, he has to deal with no parents around and a grandmother who would prefer that he wouldn't be around either. But he doesn't let it get to him. Or if he does, he keeps it hidden well. I doubt I could be that strong. And here I am pitying myself because my girlfriend left me, a few people violated my trust, and I'm addicted to drugs. A lot of those things I brought on myself. And I could have prevented some of them if I paid more attention or just said no. And I could probably cure my problems if I ever felt like it. But Josh didn't have any choice in what's happened to him.